Are you a musician or producer looking to turn your passion into profit? Do you want to know the secret of the pros who have made it big in the music industry? If so, you're in the right place. In this video, we compiled the best tips and advice from the most successful musicians and producers on how to make money in the music industry. Starting a business. First up, let's talk about starting a business. As a musician or producer, you are essentially an entrepreneur. You need to treat your music as a business and have a plan for how you're going to make money from it. Let's hear from this pro.
I know it might sound silly, it might seem simple, but start your online business. Start your business. Now, whether it's an LLC or a sole proprietor or a partnership, regardless of how you're setting up these things, you have to start the business first. I know so many of us are just making music, making beats, not getting everything started, not really want to worry about all the business things. I'll leave that for a manager. I'll leave that for somebody else. No, this is your business. This is something that's going to carry you to that next level. So start your business. Now, when it comes to starting a business, it can range from, $75, $99 to maybe a couple $100, depending on what state you live in. File your incorporation papers with your prospective state and get your business registered. Set up your business account with the IRS, and then go ahead and get you a bank account and put a few dollars in there. I promise you, that's the first step you should be taking to setting up a music production, songwriting business.
Branding. Next, let's talk about branding. In today's music industry, branding is everything. You need to stand out from the crowd and make a name for yourself. But how do you do that? Let's hear from the pros on how they developed their brands and what advice they have for you.
Branding and consistency. When I was growing up, I fell in love with every new type of music I discovered, and I just wanted to absorb as much of it as possible. Terrible idea. It was terrible back then, and it's still terrible now as I continue to do it. And focus doesn't only apply to your work because it'll make your work the best that it can be. It also applies because it focuses your output. Because like it or not, branding is half the game. If you want people to get on board with what you're doing, you need to set an expectation, and then you need to meet or exceed that expectation and repeat. That's how money and opportunities come your way, because the people with money and opportunities can trust and rely on what they will get if they give that money or those opportunities to you.
Online streaming platforms. Moving on, let's talk about online streaming platforms. With the rise of platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, streaming has become a major source of revenue for musicians and producers. But how do you get your music on these platforms and make money from them? Let's hear from the pros on their strategies for success.
So number one is streaming. So for the most part, my main source of income has been streaming royalties. So that's all my music on streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, whatever it may be. And you may hear some discouragement when you're trying to get into this because they do pay very, very little per stream. But I've been fortunate enough to get so many streams that the tiny amounts add up, you know what I'm saying? And how did I do this? How did I get to this level? Well, it's a mixture of consistency, hard work, and a little bit of luck.
Selling beats on online platforms like BeatStars. Next, let's talk about selling beats on online platforms like BeatStars. This has become a popular way for producers to monetize their music and make a name for themselves. But how do you stand out in a crowded market and make sales?
First way to make $10,000 a month as a music producer is selling on BeatStars. Although BeatStars is by no means a secret, I truly believe 99% of producers aren't using it to its fullest potential. There are so many ways to make money inside the BeatStars ecosystem that many people don't take advantage of, so let's get into some of those. The first method I have to make money on BeatStars is collab sales. To make money off collabs on BeatStars, I send my melodies to producers who already have a big platform on BeatStars or YouTube. And whenever they use my melody, they'll add me for 50-50 splits on any sales that the beat gets. I send my melodies out to these big producers every single day to make sure that I'm consistently getting collabs.
Like myself, I have released a new drum kit called the Incense Fiction Volume 1 drum kit, which is out on the market right now for producers looking to do popular genres like hip-hop, afro-pop or soul and more. Link on the description. Okay, moving on, let's talk about selling drum kits or vocal chains online. This is another way for producers to monetize their music and make a name for themselves. But how do you create and sell these products effectively? Let's hear from the pros on their experience and advice.
Sample packs. Not only you have to come up with the idea for the pack, but then you have to design all the sounds, you have to organize all the sounds, you have to commission an artwork or design an artwork, which takes forever, come up with the concept for a website, design the website, put the pack on there, then come up with a marketing plan to promote the pack. Well, if you think about it, a well-made sample pack, you can probably sell it for between $30 and $60, somewhere in that range. Now, of course, as with everything else, this only works if you can provide real value, if the pack is actually truly valuable to people, and if the pack is actually truly good.
Making music or beats for commercials and advertising. Last but not least, let's talk about making music or beats for commercials and advertising. This can be a lucrative way for musicians and producers to make money and gain exposure. But how do you get started and find opportunities?
Alright, so the next way I make money is through commercials and advertising. This kind of consists of two things. One is that you make custom music for a project that is due in a short time frame, and the next is having a catalog of music that gets licensed consistently. So I'll break those two things down. Have you ever wondered how you can make music for a car commercial? So it all starts with a client. Let's say it's Honda, and they have a brand new car that they want to promote. They'll then go to an ad agency where they'll come up with ideas for a commercial. Then the ad agency will reach out to a production house where they'll request for custom music. And from the production house, sometimes they'll outsource freelance producers like myself to get the job done. And basically what I'll get is a brief where it'll kind of describe who the client is, the description of the commercial, references for what they want for music, the budget, and then the licensing term. It sucks because there's a lot of uncertainty and you're against so many other producers for that particular job, but the payouts can be from $3,000 to $15,000. Luckily, some of these projects offer something called a demo fee where it's a couple $100 and they'll pay for your time if you didn't land the project.
So there you have it, the best tips and advice from the pros on how to make money as a musician or producer. Remember, it takes hard work, dedication, and a strategic mindset to succeed in the music industry. But with the right knowledge and guidance, you can turn your passion into profit. My name is Tati Music. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.